let's just talk about the course. Yesterday it was sunny. Didn't seem like a lot of wind. A little bit more wind, humidity. Does that affect you at all, or you wake up and you're like, whatever the weather is, I'm gonna go battle the course.
I mean, a little bit of both. Every day has different challenges. Whether it's even when it's perfect conditions, the challenge is how many birdies can you make because everyone's going to be lower. So um, it's nice that the wind is up a little bit today, just because I think that's the main defense for this course. So it's we kind of need this to separate the guys who are playing the best. Um, but yeah, the course yesterday afternoon was kind of a little crusty. The greens were kind of getting very slippery and a little bouncy at times. I kind of three-putted a few times, which was frustrating. So it was nice to come out this morning on a little bit softer and fresher greens. But yeah, this afternoon seems like it's blowing pretty good.
David, this year, 2026, you've had a couple wins, Rhode Island Open, right, New Hampshire Open as well,
Yep.
leading into this. So kind of discuss where you're at mentally and where you're at with your game so far in 2026.
Yeah, it was nice. I won Rhode Island and New Hampshire, which are both 36-hole events, so a little bit smaller stage than this, but still, just as nervous winning those as any other event. So
Right.
it's always nice to get wins under your belt. It was funny. I was talking with a friend the other day that I was coming into this tournament kind of with more expectations and higher confidence than maybe last year or other tournaments. And it's funny how difficult it is to play well when that's the case. Like
Yeah.
at least for me, I always seem to play better when it's almost like life or death. Like I'm fighting to just try to make something happen where I have almost no expectations, and I don't know. So I seem to play well in that scenario. So. Again, just a different challenge this week, like kind of expecting to do well and really, wanting to win. Like I don't want to say second would be a failure, but I've finished top 5 a few times,
Right.
and winning's what I wanted to do this week, and especially winning the other ones and having Mass, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Met. This is kind of the one, my home state that I really want to win. So. That's the challenge for me, kind of just focusing on my game, trying to just play the course the best I could, and trying to put out the winning, because whenever you think about that, it doesn't seem to go well.
We're talking to David Pastore. We're here at the Country Club of Fairfield. It's day 2 of the Connecticut Open. Like you said, you've been close to winning this tournament a couple of times. You're a local guy from the Greenwich area. Does that factor into, like you said, you were confident winning those other tournaments, but you come in here and you're like, I've been very close. What's been the difference? Why are you are some of the guys in this field, some of the courses? I know the courses switch around in Connecticut every year. What's been some of the things keeping you out of the winner's circle?
I do think maybe a little bit is kind of close to home, friends, family watching, a little bit more pressure, but really, honestly, I've only played this tournament 3 times in my professional career, and I think I've been top 5 every time. So it's not like I've struggled to play well in the tournament. I just haven't gotten the win. But like my brother was out yesterday. My mom caddied for me a little bit today. So that's just stuff that even in Massachusetts I don't normally have. I kind of just on my own, and again, I tend to do better in that type of situation where it's no expectations. I just go out and do my thing, and I'm trying as much as I can to keep the the routine and everything the same this week as I do elsewhere. But yeah, I kind of had a little bit of a frustrating round yesterday. A little better today. I haven't looked at the leaderboard too closely, but hopefully at least kind of get back into the thick of it for tomorrow.
How different has the course, David, played yesterday as opposed to today, weather-wise, conditions-wise? Has it been vastly different on both your first 2 rounds of this tournament?
I think the wind is the biggest factor, just because yesterday, morning kind of always produces lower scores than the afternoon, just because the wind picks up, the greens are not as fresh, it's firmer. So in general, yesterday, it wasn't super windy, so even in the afternoon it was somewhat scoreable. But today in the morning it was windier than it was in the afternoon yesterday. So this afternoon you can feel it's definitely going to be a challenge. So kind of got a little lucky just with the wave that I was in. But yeah, the course is very flat. It's somewhat open. The greens definitely have some slope, but for the most part, like the wind is the biggest factor here, especially with no trees. You're right on the water.
Yeah.
There's nothing to stop it. So, I haven't looked at the scores too closely, but I would suspect that today would be higher scoring average.
Yeah, I think the leader's -9, and there's -8, and then everybody's like -6, and you're right in the thick of things. I wanted to ask you about that. There's no trees. We talked to Kyle Gallo yesterday. He's a 4-time winner here. Not at a couple times on this particular course, and he says he loves this course because this is more like shooting for targets.
Yeah.
When you're standing on the tee box, what are you focused on? I played in the major leagues. The hitters have a batter's eye. What does a golfer look at when he's looking down the fairway?
I think that's where you have to lean on your preparation and practice rounds, because you really have to, you always want to pick a specific target. So on courses where all you see is kind of fescue and maybe a bunker, you really have to, play a few times to pick, maybe it's a tree 600 yards in the distance, or a house or a window or whatever it is, just so that you really know where you want to be. And I was talking to my brother who's also playing, when we were talking about the course, and a lot of holes, again, where you can't really see, it's really important, again, when there's fescue on both sides, maybe the wind's whipping one way, like left center versus right center aim could be huge, just because, maybe you push it a little, but if you aimed left center where you should, that could be the difference between like rough and fescue, if you just miss the fairway by a little. So it is really important, and it's hard because there's no, trees to shape the holes really. It's just, you have to know where you want to go.
Is it better for you, David, having someone like your mom on the bag for an event like this mentally, right? Does I would hope that's something that maybe helps you in a tournament like this, where you said you may feel a little bit of pressure with friends and family kind of tuning in here?
Yeah. I'm difficult with caddies. I have a friend who caddied for me a lot, brother sometimes. First time mom, I had a push cart today, so she was pushing the push cart. And I can do the golf stuff, but it's definitely nice when I don't have to carry the bag or be worried about with any of that stuff. So, she doesn't get to see me play that much, so it was definitely nice to have her out there. Yeah.
Was she giving you pep talks, or is she just
trying
giving you space?
I told her just push the cart. That's all I want.
Really?
No clubs. don't clean anything. Just, I like things how I do it, so I just push the thing.
She wasn't debating you on a club?
No.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
That's funny. Right now, where would you say the biggest strength of your game is?
Short game, and just like the ability to kind of grind, forget about bad shots, or just kind of get a score in. My swing's been a little inconsistent, but still able to win 2 tournaments or to shoot some good scores here or there. So, I haven't putted great these first 2 days here, but in general, putting and short game is a strength. So, again, just being able to like score wedges, I'd say wedges also. Like 100 and in. I'm
nice.
Maybe 50 to 100. I practice a lot, so I'm good at those shots, and I'm able to make birdies when I have scoring opportunities. So, I'm playing my best when my 150 to 250 is sharper. I'm either giving myself the odd birdie opportunity and making pars.
Yeah.
And when I'm struggling, that 150 to 220 or 250 is kind of too much scrambling. Too many missed greens, bogeys, and very few birdie opportunities. Because you can't rely on just the 2 or 3 par 5s. Maybe you can reach in 2, or the one drivable hole or whatever it is. You got to be able to hit the shots when you need to.
How far out are you picking tournaments that you're going to play in? And do you pick particular tournaments based on the field or where you want to play?
Number one is kind of the PGA Tour Americas, where I had status earlier this year, and kind of I'm on the fringe right now because I didn't play great in the first 6 events. So that is my top priority, just because that kind of progresses my career to get to the major leagues. So if I'm not in those fields, that's when I kind of look elsewhere. Just I'd say top priority is state opens in the Northeast. Just conditions I'm used to, easier travel and stuff like that. But kind of like the next few weeks actually before the Met Open, there's not a ton of events up here, so I'm looking at mini tours, other developmental tours, maybe some Monday qualifiers, things like that, just to fill the schedule and keep sharp.
What do you remember most about your college days playing golf at Virginia? What are some of your best memories?
Just the long car rides, just with the teammates, just driving to South Carolina, and so much fun just playing as a team with 4 other guys who you live with, train with, practice all day with, class with. It's just you kind of develop a deep bond and you kind of like go to war with them. So and the fact that you kind of don't really have that before or after in terms of golf with the team aspect. So though I'd say the long practices, like in November where we're out there and it's freezing, and then just like the travel together to different tournaments.
Nice.
And I actually Chris Fosdick was another UVA player who I got paired with this week. So
cool.
It was nice to kind of just share some stories with him. Yeah.
David, always great to catch up with you. Good luck tomorrow, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, David. Appreciate it.